Hello, and my name is Olga Government and today I'm going to talk about how the US government works and how it gets to select laws and how they are implemented. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the law specifically, as in how is it selected. So before a law is selected, it is called a bill. The word a bill is referred to as an idea that is introduced and discussed within the House of Representatives and the Senate, and then is selected if it is practical within their society to be able to become a law when it is approved by all the members of the majority within the legislative branch. They take it and they make it a law. So here is a small graph about an explanation about how a bill becomes a law. So this is like the visuals that can help us to get a better understanding. So this person is like introducing the idea. The bill, which is called a bill, the bill is discussed within the committee, and then it is taken within the House of Representatives. When they vote, they discuss and vote about it. When the majority gives it a yes, they take it to the House of Senate. The Senate, within the Senate, they vote about it, and then they take, when it is also approved, they take it to the President, who reviews it and approves, gives the permission for it to become a law. So when for this law to be able to for this bill to become a law, so that it goes through several people. So it goes to the different people from different branches of the government. So those different branches are the ones that I'm going to talk about right now. Those different branches are like the executive branch, the legislative, and the judiciary branch. The legislative branch it comprises the Senate, as you see here on the graph, the Senate and the House of Representatives. They are the ones that make up the laws that are to be implemented. The executive branch, it is the one to carry out the law. The executive, they are the one to enforce it. They carry it out. They make sure that it is implemented. It is comprised of the president, vice president, and also the cabinet. And the third branch of the government is the judiciary branch. It is the one to evaluate the laws, as in they try to see if the laws are in line with what the society is able to be implemented within their society, if it goes in line with what the society can wants within their government. So it comprises of and also it reviews if it is rightfully implemented. It comprises of the Supreme Court and the federal courts. So you can see there that it gives the general view about how the laws are implemented. So the laws are selected by the one room, and they are taken to another branch so that they can review it. So talking about these branches, we saw that they have each a specific role. For these three branches to be able to work in harmony, they kind of work hand in hand. This system of working hand in hand and not overpowering each other is referred to as checks and balances. So the checks and balances is like a partnership within those three branches of the government to be able to provide a good, a nice government, as in the rightful implementation of the government without hindering the rights of the people. So looking here at the graph, we can see how it works. So we have here the executive branch and the legislative and the judiciary branch on the other side. So the executive branch is the one to vote for the legislative branch. It is the one to call a specific person to go. The president is the one to select the specific people that they want for their within the legislative branch. He votes with the vice president. They vote for the people they want in there. The specific people they find in the different parties to come and be within the legislative branch. So and also after selecting the people that go in the legislative branch, The executive branch, which comprises of the president and the executive branch, it also appoints some of the court officials, as in it is the one to select the people that will be able to implement those laws, that will be able to, the people that will make the judgment about the laws. So that is the main role of the executive branch within the checks and balances. For the legislative branch, it is the one to override, as it is the one to confirm the appointments and impeach officials, as it is the one, the legislative branch is the one that has the power over the president to be able to see whether he uses the resources in the rightful manner. And also the legislative branch has the power over the judiciary branch because it can propose some constitutional changes. For the judiciary branch is the one to oversee if it is rightfully implemented, but then the legislative branch is the one to oversee if there can be some changes. It is the one that can propose to introduce some changes within those laws. So luckily for the judiciary branch, it is the one to review the executive orders, as in it reviews whether the laws that were introduced by the legislative branch are implemented by the executive branch in the rightful manner. It is the one who reviews the rightful implementation of those laws that were introduced. So in addition to that, it also determines whether the laws are constitutional. It determines if these laws are in line with what the society wants, in line with what the society, their society will be able to implement, if it is not hindering their rights, their human rights. So this enables the company to live into a democratic government that within their society. So another thing we want to talk about, we know that in the US government system there are mainly two leading political parties. Within this, the branches of the government, there are mainly two political parties that are leading. They are the ones that we hear about within the different news. As in those leading parties, they are the Republican and Democratic parties. But then aside from those two, they are the ones that have been leading since long. But then aside from those parties, there are also some third parties. These third parties are like the Green Party, American Shopping Party, and the American Pirate Party. These, you can see on this graph, I think there are very many. There is the Tea Party, Conservative, Socialist, Labour, as in there are very many. But then the main leading one are the Democrats and the Republicans, because they are the ones that have the majority of people within the country. So the role of these other parties are the ones to like give a push to these political parties. They give a push to the Democrats and the Republicans so that they can perform at their best, give the people better options, because they know that the time they lose, they don't give better options to people, they will immediately go for example, for the Green Party or the Liberal Party. Or in addition to that, it shifts the attention of people so that the other parties, they can perform at their best. So I think they are just like a push, because most of the times if they don't get 5% of the votes, they won't be legally admitted as the political parties, and they are not admitted because they don't get those 5%, because they are still overpowered by the political parties that are leading, which are the Democrats and the Republicans, because they always know that the people have another alternative. They make sure to give the best option within their elections. So I think that's all about the government, the US government today. Thank you. I hope I was delighted to have you throughout my presentation.